Well, babe, you're officially a mom.
And you're officially a dad.
So my wife, Angela, is definitely my favorite blogger and YouTuber extraordinaire, and she's a pretty amazing wife, I must add.
And my guess is that a lot of you may have seen my husband Matt on TV or in the movies, Wyatt from Timeless, Liam from 90210, anyone? Chicago from Pitch Perfect 3. I mean, he's bringing the sexy.
All right. So if you guys didn't know, Angela and I created a podcast called Hello Bump to chronicle our journey as expecting first-time parents.
We really just started it for something for us to look back on, but we ended up really loving our weekly chat.
Yeah, so much so that we couldn't stop there. I mean, now is the fun part, right? Now is the payoff for the 9 months of pregnancy. Now is where our life begins.
We have a brand new, beautiful baby girl, and we are so in love.
And we want you guys to come on this new journey with us of figuring out, frankly, how to raise this little thing.
We know it's going to be tough at times, but we also know the rewards are great.
We're going to be chatting week to week about the joys and the struggles of learning how to do this parenting thing.
I'm pretty sure we're going to mess up a lot.
But from every mistake comes a lesson that we can pass on to you. So join us in this wild ride as we undertake our newest challenge, parenthood.
Hello, baby.
Alrighty. Hello, baby. I'm Matt Lanter.
I'm Angela Lanter.
Uh,
We made a baby.
we made a baby. Hello, baby. Her name's McKinley. She's currently 17 months old.
Just about. Like, we're a couple days out.
Yeah. And we have this podcast and you're listening to it. So thanks for listening.
So you're welcome.
We're married and currently we are in a much, much different setup.
Yes. Yeah.
Than what we
You
normally
could say
do.
that.
We normally have our little studio in LA, but right now we're lying next to each other in bed at Angela's aunt's house in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a whole different setup going with the computers and a different device. Again, not that you guys care, but you know me, I'm a bit of a tech geek. It's kind of my thing. We got a whole different setup and new microphones too.
Yeah.
They're called Stealth by Aston microphones by Stealth. And let me know what you think about the sound. But I would say don't judge hard because we're going to get like a more permanent setup once we get up to Toronto.
Yeah. Well, actually, we just secured a location here in Ohio for living experiences.
Oh, gosh.
If you will.
You know, let's just hold all that till after the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a big, long story. We'll give an update.
Okay, we'll do an update after the intro.
After the intro.
Okay.
But this episode, we're mostly going to be talking about if you've been listening to the previous episodes. By the way, this is episode number 58 of Hello Baby, and we're gonna talk mostly about traveling to the East Coast with a toddler and our experience.
Yep.
And we'll give you a little life update along the way, and yeah, it's gonna be a little hodgepodge of an episode. Is that even a right term?
I think it is.
I don't know. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Angela, for you, what is one of the ways that you feel like you took your business to the next level?
For me, I feel like business cards really just, made a huge difference. I was able to have them when I, met new people, talked about my blog or like went to events and whatnot. I just feel like that's just it's kind of a game changer.
It is a game changer. Well, right now, the most important time is now. The importance of feeling professional, polished, and prepared when it counts. You can get that with Vistaprint. All it takes to feel like you're going to own the now is $10. That is a low price to have the confidence that you're always ready to make an impression or get seen in a new way. You can do custom cards with colors, fonts, designs, images that you choose. It means that you can look and feel like a big deal. With Vistaprint, you can create a truly professional, unique card in minutes. You upload your own design or start with one of their professionally designed options. Vistaprint offers simple tools and a wide range of templates to choose from. Pick the paper stock, style, and quantity that's right for you. Choose your delivery speed Order and receive your cards in as few as 3 days. Vistaprint uses only carefully selected inks and responsibly sourced paper stocks, dozens of designs. You can add your logo or contact information with just a few clicks, and your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. What more do you want? Or they will make it right, either by reprinting or your order or offering a refund. Vistaprint wants you to be able to own the now in any situation, which is why our listeners will get 500 high-quality custom business cards starting at $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com/baby. That's Vistaprint.com/baby. Vistaprint.com/baby. All right, then. Shall we get started with the episode?
Yeah, do we talk about the episode content or do we give a life update first? Which one? Take your pick.
You know, I had no plan going into this, and I don't know whether I should feel ashamed about not having like an episode guide.
Like an outline? Like you used to have to do. Did you have to do that all the time in school? I always had to do outlines.
Yeah, for sure.
And turn in the outline before you actually wrote the rough draft. I felt that was so frustrating.
Why?
I didn't like the outline.
Why? It makes you plan things out.
You know, I'm
properly.
But I'm a bad planner, so it makes sense that I wouldn't like the outline. Like maybe if I outlined like my work day, maybe then I would actually get the things accomplished that I need to, you know?
Right. You should try outlining. So, but first of all, I need to expand on what's happening right now. We're literally laying in bed, covers up, next to each other, in the basement of her aunt's house, and got our headphones on, and I got a pink cord. Angela's got a purple cord going to her microphone. By the way, these microphones, they're really cool. They're black and they light up purple on the bottom.
Yeah, and if you look down the middle of your microphone, you can see the lights. I keep staring at it.
Yes.
Why did you get pink and I got purple?
It's just what I packed in the bag, and it's what I plugged in. Because honestly, I'm extremely tired. And it's about 11 o'clock at night, and we've had a long day.
We have one particular 16-month-old baby to blame for our tiredness, who happens to be asleep right now while we're still awake.
Do we need to tell them that first before we get going?
No, we'll get into it. Let's back it on up.
Okay, back it on up.
Back the thing up.
So I'm sorry, you said travel first, and
yeah,
then
let's do travel.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, we're both tired, more tired than each other.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, where do we start? I mean, first of all, if you guys have been listening to the episodes prior, you know we had a big move in our future. I got a gig doing a Netflix show. We're going to be filming in Toronto this summer, and so Angela and me and the baby, of course, are coming to Toronto, and her mother. I always do that. My mother-in-law, her mom, is going to come up there, and
Soka too.
Oh yeah, and of course, Soka. Of course, Soka's our little Maltipoo, a little white Maltipoo. For those that don't know.
She's actually better known as the pain in our butt right now, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Okay, so if you've been listening, you know we're making this move to the East Coast. You know it's also been a big point of stress.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a lot. It's a lot to take basically your life to a different coast to like an Airbnb type rental for 5 to 6 months. It's like too short to pack a moving truck and go east. And it's too long to pack a suitcase or two.
And it's so hard to decide what you're going to need. I mean, granted, there's not anything that we would need that we can't go out and buy.
But you don't want to do that.
You want to minimize that. You want to only take the stuff that you're actually going to need and use, and you don't want double of stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you got it in your closet, why do you want to go out and spend money to buy it?
Exactly. So it's like, it's just hard. It's just tough deciphering exactly what it is that you're going to need in that time frame.
Right. So that's something that's kind of like a point of stress and really just getting things. Look, everything's different now that we have a baby. I mean, because we're talking not just you and I, not just our clothes and some shoes and whatever, but everybody out there knows that we do like obviously this podcast, which We have to bring equipment to keep doing the podcast for you guys. We do, Angela does YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a channel on YouTube. We pack camera equipment. We pack lighting stuff for that. Yeah, you can buy some of that again, but some of those items become expensive when you're talking about cameras and lenses and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We do, we have our computers with us. So we've got a lot of tech stuff.
You have a ton of camera stuff too, because of my photos.
And photos. So just a ton of different
and
camera
I had to
stuff.
pack tons of makeup because of my makeup tutorials that I do. I packed every new product that had come in recently.
Right. So bottom line is we're not just kind of like your normal couple. We're very high maintenance in that regard, because we got a lot of little side projects outside of just me and her traveling to Toronto to film my TV show.
Yeah.
And then of course, everything also changes when you have the baby, because then you're thinking about baby clothes, you're thinking about baby shoes, you're thinking about clothes that are going to fit her now and clothes that are going to fit her 5 months from now.
Right.
You're talking about all the little things like bottle warmers, some of her favorite toys, her, little iPad thing, the iPad holder, just stuff like that. That, again, you can buy double of, sure, but it's annoying and costly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are all thoughts that go into, okay, what do we have to pack for 5 months? And we went back and forth and back and forth. Well, I should say I did, because it was more me that was in charge of the move and getting stuff. I think I always wanted your help, but I feel like you just had your other things going on.
Well, I also was indifferent. I was like, whatever it takes, like we'll pull it off. We'll make it, whatever. Like if you want to.
Well, right. But that was Angela's way of saying, I don't care to think about it.
I don't care. I'm along for the ride.
No. That was your way of saying, I don't want to deal with it.
That's my way of saying, like, I don't care what we do. Because for these moves in the past, like every other time, we've driven it. So this was the first time that we were making a move like this and flying. Other than Alabama, which we were there for 8 weeks, so it wasn't anywhere near as long.
No, that was just a movie.
Yeah.
This is a series.
And then Atlanta too, but we were only there for about 6 or 8 weeks as well.
We drove to Louisiana when I shot Star-Crossed.
Yep.
We drove to Vancouver when I shot Timeless up there. But we just thought Toronto, I mean, you don't get much farther than Toronto to
From
Los
LA.
Angeles.
Yeah.
We're talking 4 days minimum.
Yeah. And that's a long time to drive with a dog and a kid.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a
It's
long time
impossible.
to drive just anyone.
Some of the options that we talked about was renting an RV. We talked about driving, you and I and my mom and Kenny flying. We talked about flying to Ohio and then driving up, flying straight to Toronto. We talked about every possible scenario you can think of.
So many different options about getting to Toronto, our final destination, and stopping in Ohio and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, I think in the end we just felt that driving in general, whether it be an RV or not, because there's a lot of things about RV that would be cool. You get to kind of see the road, see the landmarks and whatever on your way there. But still, you're in a moving vehicle for 4 days minimum, with the baby, and to do it comfortably to where you're not stressing your eyes out and just stretching your body 12 hours a day. Driving, you'd be looking at 5 days, maybe 6 days. It's a lot on the road.
Yeah, it is.
Not to mention, unless you get a big RV, there wasn't a whole lot of storage space on that RV for our
not at all.
clothes. And like we mentioned, some of the equipment and things like that. So we ruled it out. We ended up just packing a couple of suitcases each. We went to Marshall's and bought some large, cheap suitcases because we needed.
They're actually not cheap. They're actually really nice brands.
Well, they are nice brands, but Marshall's, they
got them
mark
just on
their
a
stuff
great
down.
deal. Yeah.
Right.
I got my Cowpack was my favorite brand, and I got 2 Cowpacks.
I needed luggage anyway, so I got myself like a big old white one. I think it was like a Ricardo brand or something. I don't even know.
Something like that.
Yeah. I actually ended up packing one suitcase and then shipping a big box of clothes to my mom's house in Ohio to grab that once we got here. Yes, I was going to ship to Canada, but my gosh, if any Canadians are listening, you guys make it hard to ship stuff up there. with all the customs and the taxes and all that stuff, my Lord, like it's going to end up costing so much money to ship a box strictly to get it over the border. It's one thing to ship a box. It's another thing to ship the box and then pay all kinds of crazy taxes and customs and duties on it when it's like stuff you already own anyway. How frustrating is that?
It's so frustrating. Are customs and taxes two different things?
I don't really know. What about duties? You got to throw duties in there.
I don't know what any of those things are other than taxes. I know customs are across borders, but I don't even know what it is. I have no idea. I just know that I had to pay a lot when I was living in Vancouver when somebody would send me something if they didn't declare it right.
Right. Yeah, and then there's all that complication. You have to like list out every item and the value. It's a wild scenario. Matter of fact, I went to like the UPS store and I was like, "Hey, how much to ship to, Toronto?" And they're like, "Oh God, you're gonna have to take this one to the UPS distribution center in so and so California. They'll know a lot better than we do here at the store." I'm like, this is y'all's job. This is what you do.
Right.
You ship boxes. How do you not know? Any Hooters, like you would say.
Mm-hmm.
So shipped a box. Angela packed a couple of suitcases.
I did. I packed 2 suitcases myself. Kenny packed. She didn't pack one. We packed one for Kenny. She packed one, and then my mom packed one, and then
she did good. But all it was just like animal crackers and Mickey Mouse. Like she packed her own.
Her sippy cups.
Sippy cups and Mickey Mouse.
Her iPad.
Yep.
Dave and Ava.
Yep.
So that was it. I mean, we minimized it because, as you guys can recall, we had to buy a car to ship to Ohio so we could drive it up to Toronto, and we bought an SUV, and I packed the entire back trunk section full.
Yeah.
I mean, full of like every pair of jeans and stuff that I actually plan on wearing over the next 5 months. And shoes, I tried to think of like what kind of shoes, and that was really hard because I know that, it's probably going to rain a lot up there, and like my makeup mirror and stuff like that. I put that all in there. But the last time my mom traveled to Ohio, I actually packed a huge suitcase full of all of the makeup and sent that with her. So that was already here waiting on me. So I tried, I mean, like, if anyone should be a smart packer at this point, it should be us. So
it's hard. It's hard every time, and it's just different every time.
Right.
But we tried the best we could.
Especially different seasons, too, is what kills you.
Yeah. Looking back, now that portion of the travel is done, I think we did a good job.
I think so, too.
It was all pretty much a success.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're telling you all this because it was such a point of stress in our lives. I mean, it really was.
My gosh.
Trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. Man, I can't even speak right now. Just the logistics of doing all this was a lot. So we got the SUV packed up and shipped out about 2 days prior to getting on the plane. And then, once we started doing some of that stuff, like getting the car shipped out and things like that, and a couple of boxes shipped, it started to kind of chip away at like the anxiety of it all. And
for sure,
it felt like, all right, we're on our way. And then we got things in place. We've got people kind of watching our house and checking in and that sort of thing. So, come to the travel day itself. We booked direct flights from LA to Cleveland. Went ahead and booked first class. Why? Well, obviously we get some bigger seats, get just a little more room.
But really, it's just because I'm bougie.
Angela's bougie and requested it. So we did it. No, it was our first time flying with McKinley other than one other time when she was about 6 months old.
Yeah.
So that was also
almost a year ago.
Kind of a point of anxiety was like, we don't know how she's going to act on the plane.
It's true.
She's at the point where she was starting to like kind of walk around.
Mm-hmm.
She is a wiggle worm. So we were like, what is she going to do? And this is not an hour and a half to 2 hour plane ride, guys. This is like 4 to 4.5 hours of a plane ride. That's a long time for a 16.5-month-old baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't sure. So we thought, you know what, having some first class tickets could really help in a lot of different ways, and also help with the airport and the lines and security. Because you get the kind of the upgraded stuff. We don't have to fight for bin space and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We are blessed.
Yes.
In order to be able to do that.
Yes.
made a big difference. And hey, we got seats like all together too. Of course, McKinley was a lap. That's another reason we booked the first class, because you got a little more leg room, and we had the dog with us, and we had her little cage below us.
Yep. Well, she's actually a lap dog. We fly.
Well, she is, but we do travel with her little
carrier,
like carrier, not cage, carrier. So, another big thing that happened to us was, let me tell you guys about this thing, and I put it on my Instagram stories. We found out about this thing called the private suite at LAX.
You saw this on Instagram?
I'll tell you how I found it in a second. So, well, I Insta-storied it for our followers.
Mm-hmm.
So if they watched my stories, they saw it.
Yeah, no, I was asking if that's how you found it initially.
No.
Okay.
It's called the private suite. They only have it at LAX. And essentially what it is its own private terminal. Like, you don't go to the airport. You go, like, it's on the other side of the runways.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even go into the airport traffic. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. I didn't know it even existed. Evidently, this is where, big, rich businessmen and Uber celebrities and heads of state and all that kind of stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the private suite. It's like I said, it's pretty pricey. It's a pretty hefty price tag, but we got hooked up. I'll tell you how it all happened. Myro is making deodorant better, like 10 times better. It's not the drugstore stuff with the mess scents you're used to. Myro delivers obsession-worthy, naturally effective deodorant that looks as good as it smells. Their natural deodorant is a custom blend of essential oils that release over time to keep you fresh and barley powder to keep you dry. Here's how it works. You choose your scent and the color of your case. You get a refresh every 3 months delivered straight to your door. Super easy. Conveniently timed out for when most people run out. You can switch scents. You can press pause or stop. Literally anytime that you want. Doing good and feeling good should be an everyday thing. Just like deodorant. To everyone out there that doesn't wear deodorant every day, you should. I've had the Myro deodorant. I actually really, really love it. The case is cool. And to be honest, I don't even remember what scent I had, but I loved it. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You can get 50% off your first order and get started today for just $5. Visit mymyro.com/baby and use promo code BABY. Okay? Again, you can get 50% off your first order. You get started today, just $5. Visit mymyro.com. So that's mymyro.com/baby and enter promo code BABY. I got an email from United. We flew United. And United has a partnership with the private suite. Now, this is actually a little bit less in price. Still expensive, in my opinion, but it's incredible. Incredible. They got a partnership with United. I think it's like $750 or something to do one way. And then if you have other travelers, those are like another $300 for each. Essentially, you can book it. You go down there. You go to this private terminal. You have your own suite, hence the name private suite. It's literally like your own hotel room. You go straight, you drive right into the parking lot. The gate opens, you park, or they valet or whatever. They usher you right into your private room. You got your own private bathroom. It's stocked full of everything you could ever need. You've got...
Basically, it's like your own little... convenience store is what it's like.
You got to talk right down that barrel, babe.
I'm sorry. I said basically it's like your very own convenience store is what it's like.
Yeah. And then in the suite itself, they can have food ready for you, lunch. The TV is on to your like favorite channel. There's all kinds of chargers, neck rolls, neck pillows, snacks, candies, drinks, alcoholic drinks, anything. They've got a little daybed in there that you can sleep on, take a nap if you want. It is just the most luxurious, most amazing thing ever. And You don't even have to see anybody else if you don't want. Like, and then what happens is they come get you before your flight. They take you into a private screening room where you go through the TSA stuff. And we were the only ones in this room, the only ones going through this screening center. Then they take you in a really nice car and they drive you across the runways up to the plane. And then you know where they bring the guys bringing like carry-on luggage and strollers up and down. They pull you right up to that. You walk up the stairs and you get right on the plane.
It's the craziest experience, for real.
It is so cool. If you're in LA and you want to, spend a little money on doing that, my gosh, it eases the anxiety. And that was one of the reasons I was really interested when I found that email. And we actually had a friend I reached out to, a friend who just knows a lot about flight stuff, and he's really kind of connected in the PR world. So I called him and I said, hey, do you know the United PR? I'd love to reach out to them and see if they want to do like a little, like switch thing, and I could kind of like talk about it on my Instagram. And he goes, oh yeah, let me see what I can do. And I guess he knew the founder, and one of the founders or the founder reached out and said, hey, we'd love to have you and come on down. It's our compliments, and you go ahead and use the private suite, and we'd love to have you and your dog and your child and your family. And we did, and they were awesome. Couldn't have been nicer down there. And it was just, again, the best experience. If you ever get a chance to do it, I highly recommend the private suite. I mean, moving with the child and a dog and all the baggage, it just took all the anxiety away. And they even had an outdoor area where we were able to like throw the ball around with Soka, and McKinley could run around. It's stocked with like kids' toys and a playhouse.
Yeah,
McKinley had a blast.
That's what I was getting to say, is just the kids' toys is what was so cool.
Oh my gosh, a little fake fire pit camping area.
But they give you a menu the day before, and you get to pick out what toys are going to be waiting for her in your suite.
Yeah.
And then they had a whole library of books too. And
then she gets to keep the toy on the plane, and it's just such a cool experience. So we did that. So, we're uber blessed, uber spoiled.
Yeah.
And we got to do that and got to Ohio. And I got to say, the plane ride was way less stressful than I even thought it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
The dog was good.
The dog was an angel.
Yeah, she really was. Didn't expect that at all.
No, because she's bad all the other times of the day.
Yeah. And McKinley was good. Of course, when you're traveling with a toddler, we had a lot of planning into what to bring on the plane. Every article I read was all about like snacks, new toys, iPad, movies, all that kind of stuff. And so we did. We loaded up, man. We loaded up the iPad with Dave and Ava and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We had her little wireless headphones going. We had animal cracker snacks in a baggie. We had what else did we have?
I think that's about it, because we knew that we were going to be getting snacks at the suite.
No, there's one or two other things that I packed. I just can't remember.
Squeezies?
Yeah, we had squeezy pouches. Also the advantage.
Graham crackers?
Yes, graham crackers. We also knew that we were going to get a meal on the plane, and so that she could eat some of our meal, which would A, feed her, and also B, keep her occupied for X amount of minutes. Just kind of picking at our food.
Yeah.
So we did all that stuff, and we had that toy. We brought along a few different toys, but we really know that our kid, we've talked about it before, just zones out when it comes to watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and the iPad. Obviously, in a flight situation, a long cross-country flight, that really comes in handy. Other times we like stress about like, is she watching too much TV? But man, it comes in handy during that time. So she did great. I mean, the last 30, 40 minutes, she started to squirm a little bit.
Oh, I don't even think it was that long.
Maybe not. But she's whatever, is 16 and a half months. She wanted to move. We didn't even have to do the whole like walking up and down the aisles thing at all. I don't.
I actually did towards the end.
We didn't. I don't even think we changed like a poopy diaper.
No
anything.
poopy diapers. She actually did that before we left, which was a really good thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was just a little angel. At the very end, I did walk with her a little bit just to like get her wiggles out a little bit.
We strategically filled a bottle, and I think we had the steward. How do we do that? How do we heat it? I don't remember.
On the plane, how did we heat it? I think she brought us a cup of hot water. Oh no, she took the bottle to the back and she put it in a cup of hot water.
Yeah, normally
That's
the stewardesses, their flight attendants, they're really nice about stuff like that. You can ask them to do things. She took our bottle from us and heated it for us in their little kitchen area, probably in some hot water, I assume, and then brought it back to us. And so on takeoff, we gave her a bottle to help clear her ears from the pressure. And also we did it again during landing. And then we also, one thing they kept telling you to do is book the correct flight times. You know, possibly look into booking an overnight flight, although could be really rough if you're not sleeping, or if they don't sleep, it could really throw things off. Another thing you got to be careful with kids is and babies, if it is a nighttime flight, people are going to want to sleep. And if your baby's not having a good time and they're crying, you can get some dirty looks and some comments, and just overall know that people are probably going to be pretty annoyed when they want to get some shut-eye and they can't because a baby's crying. So I would take that into consideration. If you don't care, then fine. You don't care. But, we obviously wanted to be as courteous as we can to people around us. So what we did is we booked a 12:30 flight, and her nap time was usually about 1 or 1:30. So we thought, okay, good. We'll get on the flight, feed her once we get on, and then hopefully she'll take a little nap. And she did, but not as much as we wanted. She took about a half-hour nap. So not too much. But we did that and, slept for about a half hour, woke up, and that was the day. That was the flight. And then we had Angela's dad come pick us up in a big truck, and thankfully we got all the stuff.
I don't even know how that happened. I don't think we could make it happen again, even if we tried.
Yeah. So we got we got home, and that's what we've been doing. So now, since we've been in Ohio, and I pretty much just went over the travel stuff, I guess. So life update stuff. We got to Ohio. Angela and I took a few days to unload, got the baby all situated, and then her and I went down to Nashville. We took a trip. We've always kind of wanted to see Nashville.
I was there years ago, but I mean like literally years ago.
Yeah, and
like fourth grade.
I've never seen it. Everybody loves the city. And we just wanted to check it out and see the area and, look at spending some time down there possibly. So we did that and went down there for about 3 days and saw a few friends down there, which was really great to catch up. And, ate at some cool places. Stayed at the Thompson Hotel, which we really loved.
Yeah, we did. We loved it.
In the Gulch.
It was decorated
downtown.
so beautifully.
Yeah.
And the room service we got was. I'm actually going to write a Nashville travel guide and talk about, where we stayed and what we ate and everything like that. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that should be fun. And then, gosh, after that we drove back, and since that time we've sort of been bouncing around. Well, poor McKinley has been bouncing around, I should say, between Angela's mom's house here with us at her aunt's house. My mom's house. Everybody's obviously wanted to see her and spend time with her. And for various reasons, mostly having to do with like bedtimes and stuff, and like where we're going to be at certain bedtimes, because we want to try to keep her on track. And so we feel like it's better to, pack up. Whoop, that didn't sound good.
Oh my goodness. What was that?
I think it was my water bottle falling off the bed. We thought it was better to pack up and let her sleep certain places. And she's been doing pretty darn good.
Especially because she's in the middle of a leap right now. And it's a big one. Yeah,
she's been doing pretty good. But, oh man, last night she was with us here at her aunt's house. And the configuration is we are in the basement, but it's a finished out basement. So we've got our own little room. And then right outside the door, kind of in the big area.
Great room.
The great room. Is we've got a like a pack and play play yard thing that we're
It's
using.
from Four Moms. It's the Four Moms Breeze, and we love that because that's the one we had in LA.
Yeah. Are you talking?
Hmm?
Just want to make sure you're talking down
I
the
am. I'm
mic.
talking into the mic.
There,
Sorry.
that sounds better.
Oh, sorry.
And so, technical difficulties. And we bought her sound machine, basically a duplicate because we forgot to pack it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that set up. And anyway, she just was not having it last night.
It was just a bad night.
Oh, man.
She's cutting a tooth, which technically I've been told by Alana, our sleep expert, that teething is never a cause for disruption of sleep. But, man, it sure seems like it.
Well,
because she's a good sleeper.
Yeah. And last night, I don't know what it was. She's just not been having it. The last few nights, she's been waking up several times and like needing comforting.
Except for when she stays at my mom's house. She doesn't need it then.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't get it.
She just wants like picked up and rocked, and it's like
does not want to be put down.
Yeah, it's like she's scared or something, or she's having nightmares. I really don't know what's going on. But last night, she cried out a couple times, but then at 4:30 in the morning, she decided that she was over it. I mean, woke up wailing. Wouldn't go back to sleep. Of course, we tried to let her cry just for a little bit, but then you can kind of tell that it gets into like, oh, that's a real cry. Like that's not just like a whining cry.
Yeah.
So we went and picked her up, and I tried going out there with her and rocking her, and she would calm down. I'd go out there and I'd pick her up, and she calms down. But I'd hold her for about 20 minutes or so, or 25 minutes, and then try to put her back down. Nope. Cry. Do it again. Put her down. Nope. Cry.
That's how bedtime was for me too, by the way.
Yeah, you had a rough bedtime. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was at 4:30. She woke us up. Me and Angela were up with her from 4:30 to 6:30 because then eventually we brought her in the room with us, lay in the bed between us, and of course she calms down. She calms down to where she's not crying, but she was very active still. Her little arms were just...
That's what I was thinking when you said she calms down. I'm like, I don't remember her being calm.
Yeah, she wasn't calm, but like she was quiet, but like her little arms are going. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know why she was like wide awake at 5 a.m. I don't get it. Because that doesn't make any sense no matter what time zone she'd be in. Because it actually would have been, 2 a.m. California time? So... Did I lose you, Angela?
No, I was just trying to calculate in my head. Sorry.
Okay. I think she's sleeping over there.
I am not asleep. I'm listening to what you're saying.
She is, but she's on her side.
I am on my side.
Like eyes closed. So I'm afraid that she's
I'm on my
go.
side because I was sitting at this weird angle and it was really hurting my lower back.
Okay. So anyway, we're up from 4:30 to 6:30 last night. Oh, finally.
Talk about awful.
Yeah, finally we brought the crib, the little play yard in our room. And then eventually we were able to get her to like really fall asleep hard. Actually, I fell asleep too. And I think you did. We kind of all dozed off together. And then,
yeah.
And then finally Angela kind of was like, Matt, I think she's sleeping. Put her in her. So I did. I put her in there and she did. She went back to sleep and the poor little thing ended up sleeping until about 10?
Yeah, she cried a couple of times and I had to reach down and pat her back.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Like 2 or 3 separate times.
Yeah, but you never pick her up again, did you?
No, I was like, you're laying next to me. There's no reason for me to pick you up.
Right. So then, let's see, more life updatey stuff. My production got pushed a little bit. So we're going to be in Ohio a little bit longer, and we think Angela and I and the whole family and might be back and forth to Ohio and Toronto. They're not that far from each other.
Yeah.
But definitely Angela can come down here. And we've been looking at a little bit of real estate over the last couple of years up here. I'm talking like a small condo, just as a landing pad when we visit family, when we come up here. So we're not A, intruding on family's space, and B, we have our own space.
Yeah.
And that obviously is even more important now that we've got McKinley. It's harder. We don't want her crying and wailing in the middle of the night at people's houses.
Yeah, which she has been, and that's been awful.
It's been...
Because my uncle gets up at 5:30 to go to work.
Yeah. So we want her to have We want McKinley to feel comfortable in a space that she always goes to, not this bouncing around stuff.
Right.
And a hotel is hard too. We can even get some like the suite type stuff here, but it's still difficult. It's just not permanent. It's not. You don't have your stuff in your spots.
Yep.
And it's tough.
She's a very regimented baby, and we've completely taken her away from everything that she knows.
Yeah. So, real estate up here right now is selling like hotcakes, like small condos. So what we actually did is we went and rented a townhouse, and we're gonna put some stuff in the townhouse, and McKinley gets her space, and we have a little landing pad to come back to when we want.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we've been doing over the last couple of days. And I got to tell you, look, I think it's still a good idea, but it's almost sounded better like at the idea than when you do it. And then all of a sudden you have to furnish an entire townhouse.
Yeah.
Down to like paper towels and,
salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm. These are just things that you
a mattress.
A mattress. It's just sort of things that you don't quite think about when you sign a lease or you make the decision to do that. Because of course you can rent Airbnbs, and believe me, we've looked a lot at Airbnbs, but we're just in a part of Ohio that
there is none.
There really isn't any Airbnbs, and if there are, some of them are kind of gross. Others are just like
the ones that I've seen that are just for one. They all have like,
or just like totally not suitable for a child.
Yeah.
Or, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
There just isn't. So we decided to rent something, and it's a really great spot. It's got a ton of space. I mean, for the price, it's got a lot of space. It's like 3 bedrooms. It's got a finished basement. It's got a fireplace. It's on a golf course. It's really nice. And a reasonable price. So we're excited about that. But with that comes running around from, just like I said, getting everything, getting hand towels, getting silverware, cups, plates, everything. And then on top of it, got to get a mattress. I'm crazy picky.
You think?
Yeah. So we've been running around, and you've heard on our podcast, we've actually had some sponsors for mattress brands, but right now we're in a really, really pinch for time. We need something like ASAP, and we're running into some problems with, there's a certain mattress that I really like, and nobody seems to have it in stock. So we got...
That's always our luck.
I know. We've got...
Actually, it's your luck, because I didn't want that mattress in the first place. I wanted the White Dove.
Angela wanted a big, cushy, pillow top, bouncy mattress, and I don't want that. I want something a little more firm. And see, Angela and I, we wake each other up all the time. And I think if you've got one of those bouncy mattresses, you wake up your partner, like right now, right?
Yeah.
Like you're feeling that bounce.
Yeah,
I'm
but
bouncing.
I feel that in California too.
Not as much, babe.
Not as much, but it's still there.
What I want is more of like a little bit more of like the memory foam type mattress where you kind of like bounce it and you don't feel it as much if you're on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want. And I just feel like those are comfortable too. So I really want one of those. Anyway, so we got to get out there tomorrow morning and try to get that ASAP because we have the keys already. We're in. We got internet coming tomorrow. I got to try to get a TV tomorrow. On top of that,
I can't believe that wasn't your first purchase. I'm still just shocked about that.
Well, because I got my eye on a particular TV.
Oh, jeez.
And it's at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's no Costco super near.
Did you check to find out if there was one where we were talking about earlier?
A TV or a Costco?
Costco.
I did not. We got to do it. You told me. I took your word for it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that'd be closer. I don't know that there is one there, though.
I think are you fading off a little bit? I feel like you're getting real quiet over there.
Am I getting quiet? I am very tired. I will admit. We had calling hours this evening.
We had a death in the family.
We have had 2 deaths in the family since we've been in Ohio, actually.
Yeah. So that's also been part of things.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah.
But so that's what we're doing right now. I mean, as far as more life updatey stuff, do you have anything else you want to share? What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I'd like to share that I vlogged the travel. the whole travel process of like packing and our like the suite and the plane ride and everything. I vlogged all of that. So I think that that's a really fun thing that everyone's going to get to take part in. So we just have to edit that.
Yeah, I don't know when that's going to be done.
Yeah.
Among all this other stuff.
Yeah, not anytime soon. I'm also in the process of vlogging our Ohio situation as well, which I think is going to be a cool video as well, just to show you guys like from the bare basics. We're literally walking into an empty property, and I'm going to show you how we decorate it from the very first thing to the very last thing. So I think that that's going to be a fun video too.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Any other things we need to go over?
Bedtime? Can we talk about bedtime? Because I'm tired.
Talk about our bedtime?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I feel like this was such a like random episode.
It was random, but I think that these are fun sometimes so that you guys, our listeners, can understand like what's going on in our lives when, you know, if you follow us on social media and stuff and you've noticed that we've been MIA for a while, these episodes kind of fill in those blanks and explain what's been going on so crazily in our lives.
You know, like on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers will do what they actually call life updates.
Yeah, I do those. I do blog post life updates.
Yeah, and you just get on, you kind of, because sometimes
I did one last week.
Your followers kind of want to know what's just going on with you. So
totally.
I hope you guys, our loyal listeners out there, listen to the episode and you're like, I don't know, it's just a peek into what's going on behind the microphones here, and maybe you learned a thing or two about the travel. If you have travel experiences, we really want to know too. So DM us back at HelloBabyPodcast on Instagram, or at Matt Lanter, or at Angela Lanter, or go and leave us a DM. I'm sorry, not a DM. I meant like a rating and review on iTunes. We read those things, and I know we've gotten some new voicemails and stuff, which we can put on the next podcast. But I know right now my co-host is totally fading off and sleeping.
I'm not asleep. I'm listening to what you're saying.
But you checked out a long time ago. Let's be honest.
I'm very relaxed right now in my robe.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's go brush our teeth.
Yes. And go to bed, man.
And hit the hay.
Please.
And we'll be back hopefully with a little bit more of like an interesting episode for you next week, or informative. I'm not sure. But we'll see. Thanks for listening. We love you guys. And
we'll talk to you next week.
Yep. That's it.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, guys.